It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for hanging out with me today. My friends, you've arrived on a Monday, and like most Mondays, I am making this a Metal Monday, but it's also a Prog-Metal Monday. Today, we're going back to Haken, friends, and I've got some of my Haken albums out back here. I've got Affinity, there's The Mountain. I've got some more of my favorite prog albums too back here. Haken Race, Thick as a Brick, Topographic Oceans, The Whirlwind, some Riverside, some Pink Floyd. We got it all back here, y'all. And then there's a lot more down in the stacks. I love having all of these LPs in my record player here over the past few years. So Haken, this is one of the great bands that I've gotten to know over the last few years. When I started the Daily Doug, I had no idea that these guys existed as a band, and they have entered my life, and I love their music. I love them, too. They're great people. So this coming weekend, I'm going to be seeing them for the third time in concert, and this time I'm going to be accompanied by some friends. I'm bringing my wife, Megan, a few personal friends, and a few of our close friends from Helvering's Army are going to be joining us, and we're going to take Haken by storm. And I'm really looking forward to it, so I wanted to get to some of their music today leading up to it, and as I look forward to it. So on YouTube here previously, I have reviewed Cockroach King. That was my introduction to the band, and what an introduction it was. Great tune. I have also reviewed Crystallized, Nightingale, and 1985 here on the channel. But over on Patreon is where we've done the big heavy lifting, y'all. We've heard all of their first 4 albums. I heard The Mountain in episode 9, Aquarius in episode 27, Affinity in episode 35, and Visions in episode 59. All of those are available over on my Patreon. And to top it all off, I have had the opportunity to interview both Richard Henshaw and Ross Jennings in separate video interviews, and enjoyed talking to them and getting to know them and their music. So that brings us up. I've done their first 4 albums. Their 5th album is Vector. I'm going to skip over that one for today because I want to get to their big prog metal masterpiece from their 6th album, Virus, released in 2020. And of course, that's the Messiah Complex. And the band had been working on music for this album, Virus, for a few years before they ended up releasing it in the summer of 2020. And it was a complete coincidence that an album named Virus came out in the middle of a global pandemic. They had been prepping it for several years, and it was just an odd coincidence at the time. And shortly after that, y'all, as the pandemic ebbed and they got to come back on tour, I saw them in concert in Pennsylvania. They opened for Symphony X, and so their set was a little shorter, but I loved it. Loved getting to see them do their thing live. And last year I got to go see them in New York, and they played a full show, and Messiah Complex was their entire encore. And my friend Arrow was at the show with me. He's going to go to this one coming up this weekend with me as well, and he has footage of me headbanging on this, so I know that I've heard it. But I haven't really given it the full treatment here on YouTube, so that's what we're up to today. It's a 17-minute suite, prog metal suite in 5 parts, and I'm excited to get to it. So let's strap in, y'all. We got Ross Jennings on vocals. Richard Henshaw is on guitars. Charlie Griffiths is also on guitars. Diego Tejeda is on keyboards, and he departed the band after this album was completed. Connor Green is on the bass, and Raymond Hearn is on the drums. Pete Jones, their original keyboardist, who is now back with the band, provides additional keyboards on this track. They also have Pete Rinaldi adding some acoustic guitar on this track, and ex-Periphery bassist Adam Getgood provides a bass solo on this song, and he did the mixing for this album. So they've got a lot of great people working with them. The first section is called Ivory Tower, and it lays out a little bit like a story here. So I'm going to try to keep up and see what they are talking about here with the Messiah Complex by Haken. Off we go. Okay. 4, 5. Cool. Now they're in 4/4. And all over the place harmonically already. Woo. Well, if that's not a prog metal riff, I don't know what is. Oh, I think they land on an E. They got that major seventh hanging out over it. 6 to 1. Cool, there's still an E. 4. That's 5 of 5. An F sharp major chord to B to 5. Up to flat 6. Cool. Back to that main riff. Listen to that. Their riffs are so heavy and they occasionally get genty, you know, with this really low, aggressive, rhythmic, pulsating. That permeates their music. Then Ross adds his shimmering vocals on top of it. Everything happens to work. Forever, and now I must repel the host. Forever I'll be spirited away. Crawling under my skin, spiraling through my head, taste of my own medicine, drunk on the power. That's a leading tone to the fire. Back down to 4. Double kick. Woo. Where I end, you begin. Where I fall, you will stand. That's the end of the text for part 1. I want to stop it for a second. Hang on. That was awesome. I'm going to move it back a little bit so we can catch that. In this first section, it's called Ivory Tower. I think that let's call him our protagonist and let's call him a him because that's what I think of. I think they're talking about the Cockroach King or somebody similar to that. Our protagonist has been in his ivory tower and he's looking down on the rest of us, and he has separated himself from humanity and seems to believe that he's really above the rest of us, above everything. And at the end here, where I end, you begin. When I fall, you will stand. Meaning, it's my time, and if I am standing, then you're not. So he feels like he's above us. And that's what they're up to here in this one. I'm going to keep going. We're moving back a little bit, but here we go, friends. Off we go. Right. So that's the end, I think. Or at least that's a big arrival on E. Another one of their earth-shaking riffs. It's metal, but it's prog at the same time. Glutton for Punishment, Section 2. The music is so fast and rhythmic, and the melody is overarching and connecting everything. Woo! Abdicate the throne, Majesty. Gold topples the crown. Blood festers on the ground. Hell on earth. Sometimes that's what America feels like. I mean, this is rooted in real stuff, in real corruption, and strong leaders around the world. This is how they're reacting to what they see and experience. With your compound eyes, parasites leached upon the guilt, and a call to arms. Paradise led me down a path to the core. Woo! Fail, try, fall, rise. That's what they were saying there. Fail, try, fall, rise. It's almost like these ideas are combating against themselves. I think our protagonist has overstepped his boundaries and has drawn he's drawing attention unnecessarily to himself. Because of his ego, maybe. This is like a chorus. They've done this before with these words. Heavy stuff, right? Switches. Part 3, Marigold. Ashes in the sky, garden of delights, screams have turned to sighs, deserting their eyes. Deserting. So it's 3 plus 4. 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. How does one forgive himself? Woo! I didn't realize this. I believe. Woo, that was cool. I'll tell you in a minute what I believe. Tell me what you died for. Yeah, she's dead. She dies. Did you ever imagine we'd reawaken the monster at the end of days and ceased it again? It's really disjointed and disjunct. And I think it goes to the conflict here. The Sect. This is section 4. And what a callback to the Cockroach King. So we're surely talking about the same dude from the Cockroach King. Riches back to rags, clutching to the past, straying from the path, gutter from the stars. If humility comes to humble me in my time of need, will I be redeemed? Okay. They always throw shit in there that makes me keep listening. I think they're going back through his memories and his actions. And they're calling back rhythms and melodies and motifs from the story. That's Cockroach King stuff. Yeah, okay, stop. Okay, I gotta talk about this a little bit before we get to the end. This is fun, isn't it? So, these middle two, Marigold, let me start with that. I believe that Marigold is the name of his daughter. That's what I think as I read through this. And his greed and his drive and his actions put her in danger. And then a shiver shoots through the spine. She whispers goodnight. Fallen sons and daughters, how does one forgive himself? I think she dies. Careful what you wish for, Marigold. Relentless grief that haunts my days will never be gone. Tell me what you died for. Did you ever imagine we'd reawaken the monster? So his grief is going to, relentless grief, his grief is going to continue to haunt him. Because this is a death that didn't have to happen, I'm guessing. In the next section, the Sect, with these callbacks of Cockroach King, I think he's totally defeated by the loss of his daughter. Hypnotized by the hunter Midas touch with the sleight of hand, I'm criticized for the slander, repentance, heal my broken wing. Riches back to rags, clutching to the past, straying from the path, gutter from the stars. He's criticized. And I think he's being removed from power, or at least his position of authority. And I think he's losing everything that he once had. Riches back to rags, clutching to the past, right? And I think his arrogance has finally become his downfall. It's all finally caught up to him. So let's see how this concludes, and we've got one more section left. Off we go. Still get that leading tone? That's like the beginning here, but a little bit heavier. 5, 6, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry. 6. remember this from the live show. Except I apparently can't remember where the triplets are. More from Cockroach King. Your victor cries, hail to the king. Woo! Sounds like flat 6. Back to 1. 4. Is this like back like the beginning? 505. 5. Same key. Flat 6. 4. 1. Jumping from my tower of ivory. Rid this plague within. The veil finally lifts, jumping from my tower of ivory. He just jumped to his death. He offed himself. Ooh. So is this is the end of his story? Talking about him for a few albums. Close to the end, y'all. Not too long. And I think they're done with all the lyrics. Unless they repeat something. I think it's just E and C chords, separated by a third. Down a step. This sounds like coda material, ending material. Yeah. Yeah. What a piece of music that is. And for those of us that know, I could count myself among the rest of y'all now, that know some of their repertoire, there's some callbacks in this that are quite engaging. It makes you just sit up and go, yeah, cool, how about that? So, okay, in this final section, Ectobius Rex, he is finding some retreat here. And he goes back to his ivory tower, but instead of the tower being a sanctuary where he can judge other people and make fun of us and look out and say ha 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 and mock those beneath him, right? Now it's his own personal prison. It's a hell on earth that he's not going to be able to escape, and he jumps. He jumps from his tower. He ends his life. Maybe he gets what's finally coming to him. Maybe justice is finally served. So I told you all about my friend Arrow. He's a good friend, and he's one of our moderators, and he's a big Haken fan, has brought Haken to me, and we're going to go see the show together this weekend with a few other friends, and he sent me some notes on this, and I was looking through them. So much like Visions, Messiah Complex is the end of a concept album, or the end of a concept in the life of the Cockroach King. So Arrow says the song itself is an oversimplification of the Vector and the Virus album. So it's an amalgamation of everything in there. He says there are those who subscribe to that Haken's entire discography is centered around this character of the Cockroach King. He doesn't come into play until The Mountain, right? And The Mountain is, I think they're, shucks, now I forget, third or fourth album. He says this is known as the Haken verse among the fans. That's fun. The band has not confirmed or denied much of anything story-wise, so many of the interpretations from the fans are really just theories and vague speculation, but the band itself has said that they enjoy those theories. And this Messiah Complex as a self-contained piece may be a little jumbled. I think I made good sense out of it, though. But he says it really does have many callbacks. I got those to the songs on Vector and Virus, both lyrically and musically. I got some of the callbacks to The Mountain, and I think that there's a little bit of this. I think I caught one of them, the callbacks here. There's a line that says, "Crawl out of my skin, a cell keeps dividing," and that I think harkens back to some of their previous ideas. This idea that a cell keeps dividing is doing the heavy lifting that connects their songs and concepts across albums. And it's an acknowledgement, I think, that despite our narrow view of the world and our own issues, life keeps going on. Cells keep dividing. The only constant is change, all that sort of stuff. So it sets the story amid the ever-going flow of life in this existence. And I think it really allows us to dive into the story, to come back out of it, go back in, come back out of it, and really enjoy the art that on goes but from this great band. And I can't wait to get to see them this weekend as they present an entire full 3-hour evening of music with Haken. I don't think they're going to play this song. It's not on their current set list. But I wanted to go back and see what makes it tick, and I am happy that I did. So thank you all for being with me on this Monday. This has been not Cockroach King, not anything else. It's the Messiah Complex by Haken. Thanks y'all for being with me. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.